Welcome to the Five and Dime on Where There's a Wills.
There's a play.
I'm Ian, your mid complexity casual gamer,
I'm Stacey. I am your non-gamer gamer.
and we are here today to give you Stacy's top 5 and my top 10 games played in the month of December. On Monday, we did our live month in review. And just as a reminder, I had 37 different games played.
I had 22.
Yeah. So, as always, we are going to kind of quickly go through my 10 through 6 before we get into our fives, top 5. With these ones, we don't do honorable mentions simply because we just talked about all the games we played on Monday. And just a reminder, when I do my monthly list, it isn't necessarily what my favorite game is. It is more of an in the moment, like my enjoyment of that game in the month. So there may be some of my favorite games that didn't quite make my list or were low on my list that would normally be much higher, but it was just it was just like played them quick, and so it wasn't like that enjoyment factor was there for this list.
And for me, it just randoms how it works out each month, but it's usually on ease of getting it to the table, how much fun I actually had playing it, and the 1 through 5 scale of how much I enjoyed spending time with Ian while I played it.
Okay.
It's usually a 5.
Moving on to my number 10. My number 10 game comes to us from Stonemeyer Games. Not a surprise, there's a Stonemeyer game on this list. And this is one that I played at my board game club at school. And this is My Little Scythe. My Little Scythe is a game where you are moving around a board, trying to collect gems, trying to collect apples, trying to deliver them, and do some other different things. Had a lot of fun teaching it to a group of kids. So that was my number 10. That was My Little Scythe. My number 9 game is from Thunderworks Games, and that is one of my favorite, actually my favorite flip and write I currently own, and that is Cartographers. But I played the Heroes version of this. It was a lot of fun. I got it to the table a couple times. I got the new ambush pack to the table with it, and yeah, so I just got a couple quick games played of that to try and fulfill my 24 for 24 for the month or for the year, which didn't quite make it, but I did get that to the table a couple times, and that was a lot of fun to get to the table again. I wanted to get it to the table with some of the expansion packs again, which I haven't played for a while. My number eight game is a game I got to the table with my board game club at school, and that was a Grandpa Beck's game called Cover Your Assets. Cover Your Assets is a game where you are trying to get pairs of the same asset to collect money, and you can steal from people. You're trying not to get your steal, hence cover your assets. You're trying to cover them with other ones so that people can't steal your expensive ones, and that is Cover Your Assets. My number 7 is a new to us game this month. In fact, it just came this month because Stacy gave it to me for Christmas, and that was Sea Salt and Paper. Sea Salt and Paper was a really fun game to learn. It is another kind of set collection game where you are collecting sets of cards, playing some of them for their powers if you want. You can end each round when you have at least 7 points, I think it was, and then end if you think you have the most points. And there's a couple different ways to end it. I'll be honest, this one probably would have been a lot higher, but we played it once, and we played the first couple rounds before dinner, and then dinner was ready, so we played the next couple rounds. So but it was a lot of fun, and with it being a new game and being a game that was that fun, it definitely deserved a spot on my list.
Can I say one thing about that?
Yes.
When we got it in the mail, when I ordered it, I couldn't believe how little the box was.
Box is like this big. It's the size of the cards.
Literally like the size of the cards. I was expecting you look
At
at all
least
the,
a decent sized box.
yes,
At least
but
a box.
it was this little tiny box. It was so cute. So it's very easy to get to the
Yeah,
table.
yeah. My my number 6 was another new to us game. I'm actually kind of surprised this one didn't end up a little bit higher on my list. And this is a game where you have a board and you are moving umbrellas around, and that is simply called Umbrella. And I just realized both Umbrella and Sea Salt and Paper are Pandasaurus games. So number 6 and number 7 on my list. I really like the game. It's a lot of fun. You are moving umbrellas around to make patterns, and you have 4 different places you can get them from, either the central main board, 2 of the sideboards, or the bottom of your board, and depending on which way you move them one way or the other. This one was a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm surprised this one didn't actually end up a little bit higher because we did play like 3 or 4 games of
Mm-hmm.
this, and it is a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Now moving on to our top 5, starting with Stacey.
My number 5 is Trekking the National Parks. I
All
like
right,
that game.
nice.
So Trekking the National Parks lets people experience the national parks in a fun and competitive way, really. So you're moving around the board, collecting stones, visiting national parks, learning about the national parks as you collect the card, which if you've watched, you know that I like games that are educational. So you learn about each of the national parks. Um, and along the way you're making decisions on which way you want to go, which cards you want to use with what numbers and with what symbols you're going to need to collect the cards or visit the park. So trekking the national parks was my fifth favorite game of the month. I really liked it.
It's a good one. We got that one to the table a couple times.
Yeah, we
I
did.
do want to. I did not have time to try the solo mode. We do have the third edition of it. Now we had the first edition. We now have the third edition.
I thought we had the second.
That's for World.
Oh.
National Parks is on the third
Oh,
now. So
okay.
yep, National Parks third edition. It does have a solo mode, which I'm interested. It looks like it's really easy to play. I just didn't. I just ran out of time and wasn't feeling good. My number 5 favorite game. It comes to us from Stonemaier, so another Stonemaier game on this list. Um, this list is full of the same companies. It looks like.
I was gonna say
Um,
shocker.
and that is Libertalia Winds of Galecrest. This is one I play solo. I do really like the solo mode in this one. With you have a deck of cards, very easy deck of cards to run that you're playing against. But then you first flip over a card, um, and you are it's called the Pillager, and it takes a spot on the board, and you place the cards left to right or lowest to highest. I really like the whole idea is everybody starts with the same 6 cards, no matter if you're playing solo with an AI or you're playing multiplayer. And then depending on which card you play, your cards start becoming a little different. Every round you draw 6 more. The first round you play 4 of them, so you have 2 cards that may or may not be similar to the other people. And then the next round you play 5 of them, but now you have 8. So now you have 3 cards that may or may not be similar. So you always are drawing the same cards each round, and then but as the game goes on, you don't necessarily have the same cards in your hand, and I really like that aspect of it. It's a really fun game to get to the table. I was hoping to get the little mini expansion to the table. I did not quite do that, but I think I'm gonna hopefully do that here soon. So that is Libertalia Winds of Galecrest
Oh,
by
that's
Stonemaier Games.
not where I thought you were going with that. Let me tell you.
Okay,
Yeah.
Stacey's number 4.
My number 4 is a new to me game for the month, I think, and that is Link City. I really like that game. You're building a small city by matching your idea and the other people's ideas of what you think that should be in that city. You're secretly matching the manager or the mayor. I can never
The
remember
city
which one it
manager or
is.
something,
City
yeah.
manager.
I think is what it
You're
was.
matching their locations with where you have your location behind your secret screen, and you're trying to build a city. It may not make any sense when you have that city going. You may have a prison right next to a preschool or something like that. Um, but you're trying to earn the most points by matching up the little
The trees.
bushes, the
There's trees
trees.
on the 4 sides of the
Yeah.
tiles.
And that's Link City. It's a quick game, easy to get to the table, and I think it's really fun.
I think the really unique thing about this is the 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 person who isn't placing the tiles actually places the traffic cones to say where the expansion's going to happen, and the other person grabs the tiles. So first, like if I'm the person that's placing the tiles and saying where different buildings are going to go, Stacey puts the traffic cones out first, and then after she does that, then I would grab 3 tiles and saying which buildings are, and I'm gonna look at it and be like, Okay, now I gotta fit these in, but I gotta fit them in so they make sense. So Stacy's gonna know which one I put where. I do really like that one. I spoiler that one did not make my list.
No.
Another one, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should have done my list twice
Hmm.
because that one's a little surprising that that one did not make my list either. I'm
Hmm.
kind of surprised because we had a lot of fun with that.
That's odd.
Yeah, that one I think probably should have. It was just barely. I think that one probably should have. I think I was tired when I did this list. And I was trying to get it done so that we could film. Um, pace. I did it last night when we were tired. So yeah, that one definitely probably should have been on my list because we had a lot of fun with that one, and I see that one getting to the table a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Good game, good game.
Thank you.
My number four comes to us from Stonemeyer Games. I guess I had a
Shock.
lot of Stonemeyer this month. This is my favorite roll and write. It is a game I've done a lot of coverage for. The reason this one made the list and is this high is because I finally got the through the Realmiverse expansion, so it is a campaign instead of just playing and rolling dice. It gives you a campaign. It gives you some goals to set, and that is Rolling Realms. Rolling Realms is my favorite roll and write out there, and like I said, had I just played Rolling Realms, I don't think it would have been. I don't know if it would have made my top 10. I don't think it definitely would have been this high, but because I finally got the through the or beyond the Realmiverse campaign for game campaign to the table. That's why it raised so high because it does give you some goals to go for. Like you set, like in the first part of the campaign, you say this is how many stars I'm going to get. And if you don't get within the range or whatever it is, you lose. So you have to try and manipulate your dice even more to get exactly what you said. And different ones have different things. Like you can't get a certain number of resources. So I really enjoyed that, and that is why it did jump into my top five at number four, and that is Rolling Realms by Stonemeyer Games.
Good choice.
All right, number three.
You always compliment me on my game, so I thought I would pay it back.
Well, you
Um,
didn't play it, but thank
yeah,
you.
you're welcome. My number three game is Cascadia.
Nice.
Thank you. See, complimenting me. It's Cascadia is a tile laying game and a token taking game. Say that 10 times. Token taking game. Where you have different.
Drafting, and it's drafting, so you're drafting
Yes.
now.
Where you have different habitats and wildlife from the Pacific Northwest, and you are trying to match the patterns on the tiles that are selected, and by putting down in certain patterns you can earn certain points. um, I really like this game, although it hurts my head from thinking too hard sometimes, but I like to make the salmon in a stream. That's my
Another
favorite.
good game. Another one did not make my list.
What the
I
heck?
know. I think with some of these, the reason that it I don't know. I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm looking at my list here, and I don't know. I probably should have looked at my list again before we done this because I don't know. It probably is another one that probably should have been. It's another one that just fell off. I don't know why. I think maybe I was just kind of forcing a lot of these this month, and so these because I was trying to get that 24 for 24. I'm like, oh, I gotta play this as many times as many. So I felt a little stressed at the end of the year for that challenge I set for
Hmm.
myself. So I think maybe that might be. I mean, a lot of these are games that I got to the table just because I was trying to do that. Um, so yeah, it's a great game. It is one of my favorite tile laying games.
Hmm.
My number three is a polyomino game from Thunderworks Games, and that is all about building your amusement park, and that is 10 Penny Parks. This is as of last summer, my favorite polyomino game. In 10 Penny Parks, you're building a amusement park. I play this one solo. I love the Becky AI, where you have to try and figure out what you can do so she doesn't score as much as she can, so that you are trying to stop her from scoring and doing some different things, and you're trying to stay ahead of her on tracks. So I really like this one. I like the idea that when you place your polyominoes down, you can't have them touching side to side. They have to be at a corner, which makes a lot of sense for the theme since it's an amusement park and you don't usually have a whole bunch of rides that are like right next to each other. There's usually space and stuff between them. So I do like that. It's a lot of fun. Got that one to the table a couple times. That one is 10 Penny Parks.
My number two is the cutest game I've played this month, I think. Pretty sure it's the cutest game that I played this month, and that is Survival of the Fattest. In Survival of the Fattest, you are playing um, over 3 seasons, and you are a woodland creature who is trying to use your special powers and your tricks to gather food, to make recipes, and you need to feed your critter by the end of the game, or you automatically lose. So if you don't feed your critter by the end of the game, you lose. There's no points. You're done. But if you do feed your critter by the end of the game, then you get to flip him over, use the special powers that are on the back of that card, and then you get to use those points if there's points on that card, or it'll help you gather more points um, to score at the end of the game.
Nice, good job. That was a good one. That was a new to us one this month as well. We played that quite a bit. I even got a solo game in. We did a live stream of it on the channel, and we're actually joined by Dirty Rascal Games
Mm-hmm.
throughout, which was great because they helped clarify some things. We asked them some questions and they answered them right live as we were playing. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Survival of the Fattest, good one.
Thank you. See?
My number two is a cooperative tile laying game that you are trying to get cats away from fire, and that is Race to the Raft. Race to the Raft. I really like the whole minimum discussion once the round starts. Before the round starts, you can talk about what you want to do. You are trying to get cats from their starting area to the raft, but all the while this fire is following you. Every time you lay a card down to extend a path, fire follows you. I said on Monday, we have a really bad habit of not moving the cats fast enough, and all of a sudden going, oh, we really got to get these cats moving because we have no place to place fire, and we are not going to have a place to place the cards. I like this one solo. I like this one multiplayer. It's a lot of fun. It's a game that we both really enjoy. We discovered this year, I think. I think that was new to us this year, both of us.
I like the easier patterns.
Yeah,
You like the more difficult, and we haven't even gotten into the difficult
no,
ones
and
yet,
yeah,
apparently.
the most
But
difficult stuff I will probably play solo, but it's just a nice, comfy game, cozy game for us to play. You
it's
know,
stressful.
it is a little stressful. It is a little stressful at times.
Cozy,
It
stressful.
depends on how quickly you're getting the cats over there. It can get stressful, but okay, maybe
I'm not
comfy's
gonna be
not
responsible for
maybe
killing a cat.
maybe comfy's not the right word, but that is race. I do enjoy this one. I do enjoy sitting down and playing this with Stacey, so that one's a lot of fun. That is Race to the Raft.
Thank you. Good choice. Number one.
Number one game of the month of December 2024.
Ooh, my favorite game of last year for
Not of
the
last
month
year,
of
for the month.
December
Yeah, we're not quite there
um,
yet.
is a game that is basically you are in the streets of New York City and you're trying to cross the streets and you have to get items out of the intersections to put on your grid of a 4x4 grid. There's 4 different colors in each intersection that you're trying to get into your own board, and trying to get those colors out of the crosswalks, I'm gonna call them waiting zones, crosswalks, and that's umbrellas. Yes, I'm
Umbrella.
talking about umbrella because well, there's
I know there
multiple
are lots of
umbrellas.
umbrellas. It's only called umbrella. I don't know.
But yeah, so you have your umbrellas on your 4x4 grid. You are trying to get them out of the different crosswalks. I call them. I don't know the
Yeah, I think the different
intersections.
areas are crosswalks, and
Yeah,
I'm
the
not sure
waiting
what your
zones, whatever they
yeah
call
yeah
them
the
in the
waiting zones, I think.
instructions. And you're trying to make the patterns that are coming up on the cards in front of you. Um, and you gain points that way.
Nice, nice.
So I like that.
That
It's
is a fun.
my number one
I didn't
game.
realize you liked it that much. I
I
like
didn't
it.
either,
You
but
know, good.
apparently it's not that easy of a setup. So that's what surprises me about it being
It's
number
not
one.
super hard though.
Isn't
You
it
you you place
no.
some you place your colored umbrellas on your board, and you
Yeah.
place four on all the others, and that's it.
Yeah, and the good
Nice.
thing about Umbrella is that it is coded so that our friends who are color deficient in things can still play and be able to
Yes, yes,
tell the
yes.
difference in the umbrellas.
We
So,
have an initial impressions video. That's where we talked
mm-hmm.
about that. We didn't think it was on a couple of the colors, and then we realized we were missing something. So there is some patterns on top of it. So we really appreciate that. That's really nice. All right, nice. That's a good one.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to my number one. My number one is Stacey. Is one that Stacey has already said. I think she probably knows which one is left that she has already said on her list. That is definitely gonna be my number one. My number one is Survival of the Fattest.
I knew it.
I really enjoyed this game. I enjoyed it two player. I really liked. I think a big part of it was the live stream when or not bad when Dirty Rascal joined us and clarified and answered questions for us. It was a lot of fun to do that. The miniatures we have because we have the deluxe version are just a lot of fun. Are really cute. Are really well done. It was a lot of the solo mode is really well done. I liked the idea of the different critters having like three different tricks they can do, and then there's a little mini expansion to add a fourth one, and then when you feed them, which I totally forgot to do until the very end, so I did not get to use their special ability. I like having to go to like 6 different spots to do different things. I like the fact that there was 3 different foraging areas, and each foraging area did foraged a little differently. So that was a lot of fun. Stacey said a lot about it already, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. We talked about it on Monday. That is Survival of the Fattest by Dirty Rascal Games. My number one game for December of 2024.
Good choice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I can be complimentary too.
All right, so there you have it, everybody. There is our five and dime, our top 5 and top 10 games that we played in December of 2024. Um, Let us know if you've played any of these, what you think uh, of them. And let's see, any surprises on your list?
I didn't think trekking the national parks was going to be so high.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big surprise to me. And I didn't think Cascadia would going to be in my top five
Yeah.
either. I thought that sea salt and paper was going to be in there. Um,
I'm kind of surprised Survival of the Fattest wasn't number one. I thought that one would be number one. I'm surprised Umbrella was so high.
I'm too.
Like I'm not really surprised with much else. Like I know your kind of gaming style and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. On mine, yeah, I don't know. I'm a little surprised now that I'm looking at that like Cascadia and Link City didn't sneak on there because those were a lot of fun to play. Um, I'm kind of surprised Sea Salt and Paper and Cover Your Assets in my little side did since I only did play them once each, and especially with Sea Salt and Paper kind of being a broken game with dinner in the middle. Um, so yeah,
Well, it
yeah,
did
my
take you a long time to rank it, so maybe by the time you started and finished, you were just a little tired.
yeah. So I think my list got a little odd. Even looking down at my lower rankings, some of them just you know probably looking back at it, I probably should have looked at it again. But yeah, it was a fun month of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we got coming up? We got
Monday.
Monday. I'm going to do my
Monday.
board game arena month in review. I'm gonna give that a shot and see and try and maybe and start doing that. And so I'll jump on and kind of just talk through some of the games I played on Board Game Arena in the previous month. Tuesday, we have a double top 10 coming your way. Usually, top 10s are something that I do outside of our five and dimes. But Tuesday, we're going to have a double top 10. We are going to rank our top 10 favorite 2024 covers, 2024
Oh,
covers
that
of
we
games we
own.
own. The games that we've actually seen the covers in person. Um, it's gonna be a double top 10 because Stacey is, she's always the one that's talking about the art and stuff. Well, she one of the things that draws her into the games is the art. So we're like, if we were gonna do a five and dime. I'm like, it makes a lot of sense to do this as a double top 10. And then next Friday is kind of the big one. It is going to be our Five and Dime for our top games from 2024. Kind of almost finishing off our 2024 videos. I will have one more the following week, my top 10 solo games. Uh, but yeah, so that's what's coming up here. And in a few weeks, we're going to have a very special Five and Dime for you guys because it is almost 1 year of this channel. So yeah, we're going to have a very special one in about 3 weeks. So yeah,
Are we
thanks
having a
for
playthrough at all?
Oh, we do have some playthroughs. So next Wednesday, that's right. Next week is busy on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Next Wednesday we will be live streaming Rec Raiders from Kids Table Board Gaming, and then we do have another live stream coming later in the month, which is gonna have to be Wednesday with the Wills is on a Tuesday because I found out this week that our winter conferences are on that Wednesday we were gonna be live streaming, so we're gonna have to just switch that to a Tuesday. So yeah, so that's what's coming up here in the next week.
Tuesday with the Tealses.
No, I don't think so. Wednesday with the Wills is on a Tuesday. I don't know. We'll just probably keep it as Wednesday with the Wills. We'll just do it on a Tuesday. But yeah, so that's what's coming up. There is a list on the channel as well as the Instagram page at Wills Plays Games. So thanks for joining us. Please like and subscribe. If you like this video and want to see more, you can hit that subscribe button up above. And if you want to see the rest of our Five and Dime rankings, you can follow that link. Once again, this has been Where There's a Wills.
There's a play.
I'm Ian.
I'm Stacey.
And we'll see you next time.
At the table.